I'm Scotty. You're not. And welcome back to the road. Halloween Horror Month. Why am I doing that? It's day 12. We're almost there. Day 12. We're talking about an episode of Freddy's Nightmares today. Before we get to that, we need to put yet another piece into our background. We got the Leatherface, Nekatuni Terrors. Chainsaw broke, so he doesn't have that. But he'll go right here between Chucky and Ghostface. We now have all our figurines and stuff together. We just need the shirt, and then in the final little episode I'm doing. But let's talk about an episode of Freddy's Nightmares, entitled Freddy's Tricks and Treats. So if you don't know, Freddy's Nightmares is yet another horror anthology series, but it's based around Nightmare on Elm Street. Now, not everything is Nightmare on Elm Street connected to it. A bunch of other creepy stuff. To be fair, I haven't seen episodes that were this one. There are a couple episodes on the Blu-ray set that I haven't checked out, but this is one I wanted to check out because there are, I think, 8 episodes that have Freddy in it, including the first episode, which is a retelling of his trial. But I wanted to do this one because I heard about it. This one that Tony from Hack the Movies did. I finally watched this video on it, but I know he did this one. I knew they were streaming and I wanted to cover it at some point. I didn't want to spoil it. But, yeah, much like him, I figured out one of the twists. I will say, first half of this episode, pretty good. Second half, boring. Sorry, no. When they get to the second half of this, it's just like, I kept checking, are we done yet? First of all, I thought this was only a half hour. So when we ended with the whole revelation of the twist, I'm like, oh, that's a nice twist. It was on the head, blah, 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 blah. Okay. And then we're still going. I'm like, I thought, no, this isn't 45 minutes. Okay. I didn't realize this was an hour with commercials type situation. Okay, so I guess we're still going, and then we go, and it's just... So, our main character is Marsha, played by Mariska Hargitay, from Law & Order SVU. Yes, and tell you what, late 80s Mariska Hargitay, to quote Patrick Bateman, yeah, she's they dress her up all frumpy in this first half. Like, she's got her hair back and glasses, she's wearing a sweater. In the second half, they really just go for it, especially one scene that is unnecessary, but they do sort of explain it. We'll get to it. But she's studying because she's in med school, I guess, and her boyfriend Mark crashes through the window. Like, she goes to put on headphones. Apparently she listens to Mozart, but like, he crashes through and she's like, Mark, what are you doing? How do you know it was me? Well, you're clumsy. And I didn't have she didn't have the music on. She put the headphones on. She didn't turn the music on yet. Mozart on a cassette player. Who listens to Mozart? First of all, who listens to Mozart in the 80s? But also, who listens to Mozart on a cassette player? Kind of weird. Mark's like, hey, you need to go down and you have a party. She's like, no, I need to study. I need this, study, blah, blah, blah. This is the first hint that there's something up with Mark. She's like, no, I gotta go. She goes to go downstairs and runs into her buddy, Gary, played by Cameron Thor from Jurassic Park. Dodson! We got Dodson here! See, no one cares. And, Cameron Thor went to jail for, well, let's just say if this was SVU, she'd be arresting him. Let's just put that. Yeah. He's dressed like Napoleon. And he's like, hey, come on, join the party, come on, tries to talk to her. We're introduced to Zach, who's trying to talk up a woman with science talk. That never works. Science doesn't work unless it's another scientist lady. But I'm this whole scene, I'm thinking, why didn't Mark come downstairs? What's going on? Did he crawl back out to the window? What happened to him? I don't know. Right? So, after trying to stay at the party, she's like, nope, I'm going to go down to the morgue for some reason, and I'm going to study there. But, like, her studying there, she meets the security guard guy who lets her in to where the cadavers are. And she begins to just do a dissection on a cadaver. I'm like, first of all, she uncovers the guy's head, and I'm like, why would you do that? Why do you... If I could never be a mortician, or whatever that is, but if I was, I certainly would not have the guy's face uncovered, because it's hard enough to try to cut open a dead guy. I have to look at his face while I'm doing it. Hey, pal, which way is your spleen? You know? You know, no, it's too weird. Actually, if I was someone, I probably would just to freak people out. Hey, me and Marty just having a little fun. Hey, right, Marty? I'm looking for his spleen right now. Marty, which way to your spleen? Left. All right. Marty says left. Ah, got it. Okay, there we go. Now I need the liver down to the right. Okay, let's see. There we go. I'm not sure if that's exactly where the body parts are. I'm just saying. I don't know if I'll be able to do it, though. It's one thing to make jokes, but then in the moment with the body parts. And I'd probably be more like the security guard who freaks out when she's like... Because she sees Boo written on a guy's forehead and runs to get him. When she comes back, it's gone. Yeah. She's like, what? He's like, oh, I'll stay here with you. He's like, are you sure? She's like, are you sure? He's like, yeah, that doesn't scare me. And then she's like, she's just like a flock of skin or something. He's like, oh, that's disgusting. And he runs out. And this is where we get the first instance. Because, like, when he leaves, so I knew that Freddy was the host of this, but apparently he doesn't open the show like a host or something. Because after she runs off to get him, he pops up and goes, was it something I said? This came out in 88, so it's around the time of the fourth one is about to come out, or has been out around this. And I also I was like, character's name is Mark. There's a Mark in the fifth one. Fifth one's not out yet. But also, yeah. So she's doing this. And she comes back and she decides to wash her hands. And that's when she has a flashback of her abusive grandmother, who's the Save the Clock Tower lady from Back to the Future. Yeah, as soon as I saw her, I went, Save the Clock Tower! Save the Clock Tower! It's that lady. She's an abusive grandmother who made her wash her hands incessantly because of dirty boys. I guess. What, like, that means that Freddy's dad directly copied this, because that's literally Tracy. Only it was her father instead of the grandmother, and it was a little... Well, I would say that Tracy's father and Cameron Thor have a lot in common. After that, Mark shows up out of nowhere. He's like, what are you doing? He's like, she's like, I don't know. And she did scratch it a little bit, not as bad as it looked in her when she was... So, like, it's weird to tell when it's a dream and when it's not. At least this first half, plays off like there's some dreams. Like, sometimes she wakes up on the corpse like, you know? Now, here, she sees Mark, and then he says, you know, I'll be right back, and he leaves. And all of a sudden, the pumpkin mask he gave her earlier is on her face. But instead of trying to take it off this way, she scratches at it from the front, and blood tries to come out. It's not a very good effect. I'm just like, why would you do this when you can just do this? She runs out of the hallway, and then it's gone again. Security guard is gone. And then Mark shows up again. He's like, hey, it's okay. Because did she wake up here or something? I think. He's like, hey, it's okay, it's fine. And he's wearing, because like, she runs off and she finds with the fedora and hat. And then Mark is there and he's like, hey, it's a little joke, it's a game. Then he disappears again. And I'm like, there's something up with Mark. And then the skeleton thing turns into Freddy. And it's a dream. Okay. But then Mark shows up again. He's like, hey, come on. Come with me. We'll go have fun. And he takes her to her grandmother's house. But she's from Detroit. She didn't know about Freddy she didn't know no. But like the mask is glowing. So it's like a dream. I'm like, there's something going on here. And we see why she got in the medical profession, because she was with some guy and her grandmother came home and scolded her. And she told her grandmother off, which resulted in her grandmother having a heart attack. So she became a med student to try to help prevent that. She's like, I know how to help you now. In the CPR and stuff. But it's like, you don't need to do medical training to learn CPR. You can take a local class. You don't need to go through 8 years of med school. 4 years of regular college, 4 years of med school. I know because my supervisor's son is trying to become a doctor. That's a lot. Just so she could learn CPR? Right? So she freaks out. The grandmother turns into Freddy. And she runs outside the house where Mark is there waiting for her. It's like, it's okay, it's fine. You don't need me now. And I'm like, oh, he's not fucking real, is he? And he disappears. And then some girlfriends we never met before show up to help her. And here comes Gary and Zach. And Gary runs up to her. And that's the end of the first half. I thought this was it. And all of a sudden, we're still going. Okay. So now we cut to, and this is confusing. Mariska Hargitay is just in a bedroom, and she's standing there. And by the way, her glasses and pinback hair, and she's no longer looking frumpy. Let's just put that. And even more so, she stands in front of a mirror or whatever, window, whatever, and she starts to take off her pants, and I'm like, well, what's going on? And she's got those 80s underwear that go way up. I'm like, okay. Then she takes like her shirt off and she's got a bra underneath, and I'm like, but then you see that Gary and Zach are watching through a window, and it turns out this is her dream, and they're watching it on a screen. Like, this is 1988. We don't have that technology now. How the hell we're supposed to believe they had it then? That they could see dreams in it. I don't know. And just before she's about to take her top off, of course, Static stops her from saying it. But like, it's weird because she clearly does take her top up. But when it cuts back to her in a dream, she's just going to lift it up. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. That's not continuity error there, but yeah. And of course, she's attacked by Freddy after they can't see anymore, after they walk away from it. She wakes up and they're concerned. Well, Gary's concerned. And Zach just wants to keep going with this. It's also weird that Gary's the one that keeps on wanting to push us forward. Or Zach's the one that keeps on pushing us forward, and Gary's the one that cares about her. But Zach's the one that ends up sort of being the love interest here. Yeah, so apparently, Freddy's Nightmares episodes are divided into two parts. So, some characters cross over, whatever, but it's like, now we're focusing on Zach and Gary as the main characters. Mariska Hargitay is still there. Marsha's still there, but it's more like, she's not really the main character anymore. But, yeah. So I'm trying to think. They want to keep doing it. So, if you're wondering why she was stripping in her dream, there is some dialogue that suggests that the hypnotherapy that Zach used, during that, he may have suggested her to do that. That's why she was doing it. Like, he put a suggestion in there. Because Gary, you're like, I don't know. But let's just say that scene, she's in her underwear. And, yep. Like I said. But I do one more. So after she eventually tells him that it's Freddy, so he takes her to Freddy's boiler room, and weird things start to happen. You see what is clearly a guy doing this in front of a light bulb, but then you see later it looks like it's something set that looks like Freddy, but it's clearly some guy. Just how they really did the effect. Yeah, and this is a dream because Freddy goes because Zach disappears and then Freddy. Yeah, I was like, is Zach not real too? No, Zach is real. Well, by the way, if you didn't figure out from the fact that he disappeared that Mark wasn't real, they spell it out for you too. Like, Mark never existed. He wasn't real. Oh, thanks. Thank you. Couldn't figure it out. 2 + 2 = Fisher. But, yeah. Apparently this is, yeah, she doesn't want to go back by herself, and Marie says, next time I'll go with you. Right? And then they're talking to their superior, and he's pissed because it's pushing things further, and Gary doesn't want, like this to happen, and so, like, anything bad to happen, and the guy's like, if something goes wrong, it's all our asses, and the whole thing gets shut down, I don't want to do anymore. But then, it's a weird edit here, because, like, Zach says that they're stopping me, she's like, I don't want to stop, and then they kiss, and then it cuts to a dream, so I'm like, so did they not actually kiss, or what? Because she's back in the boiler room, running around. And, because like earlier it's revealed that they're in the boiler room, and he's doing the sleep study there, and recording the stuff. So that but now here, no wait. Because here, when she wakes up, they're back in the sleep study room. So why is she it's confusing. It's like, Freddy shows up because there's like a little girl there, and here she just finds the bloodied. There's not enough killing in this thing for a slasher thing. It's a bloody dress, and then she thinks she sees a little girl, but it's a doll. And I like this doll. Freddy scratches the doll's face, and it doesn't just like cut off the face, and it has a like stuffing. Cuts the face, and underneath is a skeleton doll face. Like it's like a plush thing. But yeah, there's a skeleton plush doll face underneath. That's pretty cool. But he grabs by the neck, and then in the real world we see that it's Zach doing it. And she's like, Zach, he's like, come on, dream. Oh, I'm sorry, if someone's choking me, I'm not gonna be able to dream. But it turns out she's still in a dream, and she pulled him in with. Freddy says 2 for 1, but only kills Zach. A weird kill too, where he slashes his face, but then goes like this, or goes like this, or whatever. I'm just like, okay. He's dead. Marsha wakes up, rewinds, and sees that his death, and then it cuts to Freddy, just as the, I guess Zach is now the VHS tape bloody vomit thing, and Freddy outros the episode, basically. I'm like, that's it. That's how it ends. That's not a conclusion. And I don't know if we go back to that. I'm not sure. I didn't look. I should have, just in case, but I don't want to stay for 2 hours. It's weird. It's not a conclusion. It just, he's dead, but there's no conclusion to her story. I thought it was going to end with her dead. She's still alive. There's no conclusion to that. Gary's not even around for his story to conclude. I don't know. But, yeah, for my first episode, it's not bad. It's not bad. So, what are your thoughts on this episode? Leave a comment so much. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Sky, and I'll see you in the next one.